Strengthening Faith 115. I had a thought which I wanted to share. It is important for Muslims to avoid falling into a mentality which prevents one from sincerely obeying Allah, the Exalted, which involves using the blessings they have been granted in ways pleasing to Him, as outlined in the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This mentality involves comparing oneself to other people who appear worse than them in obeying Allah, the Exalted. This mentality only encourages one to belittle their own disobedience to Allah, the Exalted, as they observe the greater sins of others. This attitude also encourages laziness, as one will not urge themselves to improve their obedience to Allah, the Exalted, and their behavior towards the creation when they observe the sins of others. They will believe they are doing a good job, even though they are barely fulfilling the basic duties of Islam towards Allah, the Exalted, and people, as they constantly observe people who appear worse than them. One must never forget that one's judgment on the Day of Judgment will not be based on a comparison with other people. The benchmark for all people on the Day of Judgment is the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Meaning, the actions of each person will be compared to these sources of guidance, not the actions of other people. So a thief will not escape punishment on Judgment Day by claiming they never killed anyone, just like the many killers who will be present on the Day of Judgment. As the benchmark on Judgment Day is the two sources of guidance, similarly, the benchmark in this world is also these two sources of guidance. A Muslim must therefore avoid the foolish attitude of comparing themselves to people who appear worse than them, and instead compare their actions to the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, in order to correct themselves if they desire peace and success in both worlds, as comparing oneself to worse people may make them feel better, but it will only lead to difficulties in this world, and a difficult accountability and a potential punishment in the hereafter. Chapter 20 Taha, verses 124 to 126.
And whoever turns away from my remembrance, indeed he will have a depressed, i.e. difficult life, and we will gather, i.e. raise him on the day of resurrection blind. He will say, My Lord, why have you raised me blind while I was once seeing? Allah will say, Thus did our signs come to you, and you forgot, i.e. disregarded them, and thus will you this day be forgotten.
Over 400 free ebooks, audiobooks, infographics, podcasts and blogs available on our website, www.shakepod.com.